everyone, welcome to Poetry Ungovernable. This is the Sea Poet, and today's video we are going to cover repetition in poetry. So, what is repetition? Repetition. This is a poetic device that uses the same word or term or a phrase or a stanza several times. The purpose of repetition is to create a rhythm in a poem, bring attention to the poem, emphasize a certain point, or to create a memory of something. Now that we have seen the meaning and the purpose of repetition, we are going to go through a famous poem called Still I Rise by Angelou, and we shall discuss the repetition in that poem. Second last and the last stanza of Still I Rise. Out of the hearts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide. Welling and swelling I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of a slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. As seen from this poem, the repeated phrase is, I rise. Through this repetition, Maya is able to bring the reader or the audience to see or emphasize on the strength of the persona in this poem through the use of the word, I rise, I rise, I rise, over and over again. Now, we are going to go through a poem of my own, found in my book Fathom, Not a Saint, that is titled, This Is Not My Story. This is not my story. This is not my story, but your story in my story. 'Tis that time of the year, the holidays, that time when family comes first, yet no one wants to arrive home as the very first. So you call your siblings, so that you can have a road trip up country. Huge shopping in the car boots, it's the only sign of unity. And social media hashtags, family times, or vanity, such a pity. But we the spectators are convinced that you're actually happy. Again, this is not my story, but your story in my story. Your mother is emotional as always, that her sons and daughters are home. You can tell by her morning hymns of hope, but your father is unmoved. He can read through the pretense. A penny for his thoughts. He'd rather play the silent witness than bring your mother's walls down. Again, this is not my story, but your story in my story. The purpose of the repetition of the stanza, this is not my story, but your story in my story, is to bring attention to the poem that there are more than one persona, and two, to emphasize on the fact that this story is not that of the first persona, but of the second persona. I hope this video has been helpful to you. Thank you for watching the video today. Remember to subscribe if you haven't, and keep following for other videos in the future. Bye!